Those who played sports with Don Bennett in high school have talked about what a great athlete he was. While he most certainly could run and jump, the one thing he could do above all else was score the basketball. One of only two Homer High School athletes to average at least 25 points per game in a season, the 1969 graduate set the single-season points record, which still stands during the 1968-69 season when he averaged 25.25 points per game for the Panthers. Bennett, who transferred to Homer from Unity early in his junior season and played about two-thirds of the varsity games that year, left Homer with a varsity scoring average of 22.2 points per game, highest in Panther history. His single-season average is still second in the Homer High School record books. Bennett put up 30 points or more 7 times during his high school career and nearly reached the 1,000-point mark despite not even playing 2 full seasons. He scored a record 682 points his senior campaign. Bennett also excelled on the football field, being a key player on both sides of the ball for the undefeated 1968 Panther squad, and he set a school record with 4 interceptions in one game that year, a feat which was tied by fellow honoree Stan Burton a decade later. Bennett also showed his athletic prowess in track and field, successfully competing in the 100, 220, 440, and long jump, including a tiny state meet championship in the 440 his senior year. Bennett is retired and living in Florida.
Yeah, well, his asset was his jumping ability and great hands, and he caught the pass. He intercepted. He was a safety. He was a safety also, and very, very good. Don had all the attributes of a good athlete. He had the speed, he had the brains, and he had this jumping ability and his hands. We put him at tight end. We put him at safety. You know, we didn't know much about him when he came because he transferred, and we only had him that 1 year.
Yes. Well, I think you must have had pretty good athletes across the board because even though I know you didn't throw the ball that much just because you didn't need to with the backs that you had, there were occasions where you did, and I know that you had a couple games where Joe Stanfield caught a couple touchdown passes. Don Bennett, I think one game against Ridge Farm, had several touchdown passes, and so you must have had athletes across the board.
They were really good, and it's a shame we didn't throw more because some of the passes I threw to Joe Stanfield, if he was here, he'd tell you that might have been the worst looking passes in the world, and he'd catch it. You know, he was not afraid to go across the middle. Don wasn't afraid to, but with his speed, we didn't do it very often. When we threw to him, it was usually a pretty deep ball. He was tall and he'd really run, and he'd catch it.
He intercepted the pass at the championship game, late in the game, and we got the ball close, so I think we got the ball close to the 50, and we threw a pass to him the first play, and we're behind, and he caught it. It went 12, 15 yards, something like that. So the ball's now on about the 40-something, and then Ralph took over and scored from there, and we won the title. But Don's interception set that whole thing up, got us the ball back, and caught that pass and that's the ball back.